What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Sheehan Show here on Sherdog.com. My name is Sean Sheehan. I'm delighted to be joined today by the Axeman, Alfie Davis, before his big fight in the main event of PFL against Gadzhi Rabadanov. Alfie, thank you very much for joining me today. First thing, I have to congratulate you. You got the brown belt in the last couple of days. How did that feel to get that after so many years?
Yeah, it feels good, I've not practiced in the gi for many years, and my previous instructors never give out belts. So I'm glad after 14 years of jiu-jitsu, I'm finally a brown belt.
Is it one of those things that you always wanted, you always strive for, or was it like some MMA fighters, they're mad to get their next belt, and others are, look, I'm doing this just so I can have it for mixed martial arts? Which side which side are you on?
No, I'm quite a student of jiu-jitsu. I definitely like the art of jiu-jitsu, and I also teach a lot, and I feel like having the belts is definitely helps your credibility as a teacher. So I have always sort of wanted the belts, but I just, as I said before, the gym that I was at before, they never used to give out belts. And then all of the other instructors would want me to put a gi on and like to bow a lot to them. So I'm quite happy that I have instructors that are quite new in that regards.
I saw that you obviously you're training with GB Top Team and you trained with London Shoot before. Is that the two gyms? Are you still going back and forth between them? Or are you full time there now?
No, I'm at GB Top Team full time. Yeah.
And why did that change happen? Obviously, you had a great relationship with London Shoot for years and did really well under them. What was the change?
It's basically the coaching styles, to be honest with you. I mean, I wasn't happy there for a few years, and I always liked throughout my years of playing sport and competing in kickboxing and MMA. I've always liked a democratic style of coaching where you have a relationship where it's back and forth. Whereas at London Shoot, it was more autocratic. It was like the coach's way or the highway. I did manage to work my way around that for many years, but equally I felt like that wasn't me at my best, and I think that's sort of proven it the last two fights, is that when I have this sort of style of coaching and I'm allowed to add my own flair and basically do stuff that I believe is best for me, I feel like it brings out the best in me.
Do you think that's a thing a lot of other fighters will do, kind of to run their camps themselves? We've seen a lot of fighters doing it. Ian Gary's done it most recently, and others as well. Do you think that could be something that? And I know you have your team, but it sounds like you're kind of at the root of your team rather than part of the team now.
Yeah, I would say that I definitely have a better input. The coaches are still the coaches, but yeah, I have a much. It's a two-way relationship, and I kind of think it's personality dependent. Some people need that coach to tell them to whip them and put them into place and tell them what to do. But then other people, I feel like they need to add their own spice. They need to understand what's going on and tell the coaches that's not working for me, or like don't try and crack the whip when I don't need the whip cracking. I'm perfectly good at motivating myself. I know when I'm overtrained and don't need you cracking the whip. So it's definitely different personality based, I would say, depending on the style of coaching. But for me personally, I feel like the democratic style is where I'm best.
You mentioned there you played other sports. I always have a great interest. What other sports did you play before the combat sports?
Yeah, but I was never really good at any other sport. I mean, I played football, I played cricket, I did a bit of gymnastics. But yeah, I was never really good at any. Oh, well, to be fair, I was in the PE room at school. I was one of the best, but I think that was just because I was quite athletic. But I wasn't. Didn't get anywhere else in other sports.
I don't know. Is there any other fighter that's gone from cricket to MMA? I don't think I've heard that one before, but it might be the first. It's a how did you find mixed martial arts or martial arts in Ireland? Because a lot of people don't, I suppose, until maybe later in life and stuff. Where did you find it?
Yeah, well, I used to watch a lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme. I brought a lot back then. It was videotapes. I think my mum brought me a few of them. I used to watch all the Jean-Claude Van Damme films, and then moving around the house, I would be like kicking, trying to close doors, and just practicing all the moves and watching. I probably watched Kickboxer probably 100 times. And then then there was a magazine back in the day where I think it was called Everyone's a Winner in Enfield, and I saw a kickboxing club come up, and I begged my mum to go there, and then so I turned up, and I was like, are you sure you've not been training before? They were like, convinced that I've been training for years because I used to just watch and copy the films. But yeah, and then it sort of just, yeah, snowballed from there.
Self-trained from day one. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best
yeah.
face for MMA as always. What about the tournament then? Because obviously, as you mentioned, like I assume it's very different to prepare for a tournament when you know you're fighting very regularly. Like you maybe before you could have one fight in January, and look, you'd hope to come back. Maybe there's a bit of an injury and you take 6 months out or something like that. With the tournament, before it started, was it something you're like, okay, I have to do this, or was it something you really, really wanted to do?
No, 100% I wanted to do it. My kickboxing days, I'd compete every month, sometimes every week. I'm always fighting. Like I'm quite renowned. Obviously, I don't want to jinx myself here, but I'm quite renowned for like not getting hit much and not getting amazingly bad injuries. So, I feel like the tournament base is just perfect for me. I mean, especially because I like to eat and drink a lot of beer after fights. So I sort of the tournament base means that I can't do that, and just have to get on and train, which I do like doing.
You've obviously been a pro for over 10 years now, which is crazy because you're still so young, and you've fought in all different places. Obviously KSW, Cage Warriors a couple of times, Bellator now in the PFL as well. How great is it, I suppose, to have a home like, and you had a home with Bellator for a good while, but a home where if you win this, or are you know if you win your last fight, you're into the next fight, into the next fight, into a championship fight, and into another championship fight. That must be amazing to be kind of on that path where like I'm not just fighting here to fight, I'm fighting to get right to the top and to be successful and to be the guy. Is that nice? Because like everyone, I assume, when they start MMA strives for that, and you're one fight away, obviously, from it.
Yeah, it's amazing knowing your path, what's going to happen, because that's what the only thing that I was. Yeah, with Bellator, I'd fight maybe once or twice a year, and I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know if I was going to be built up towards the title or if I was going to fight someone else. Obviously, it was different stage in my career, but now I know it that yeah, I can fight some of the best people in the world, and that's what I want.
The two fights you've had so far are very different in terms of approach from both guys, I suppose. Like when you're going into fight Clay Collard, we'll talk about that one first. He's got to fight with you the way you want to fight with him, I suppose, on the feet and back. How good is that? Because for Clay, I'm sure a lot of guys that fight him are going to go in and try to take him down. Same for you. Is it good to know you're going to approach a guy who's going to fight with you on the feet? Does it free you up a little bit, not just in camp but in approach as well?
Yeah, 100%. I loved the camp for that fight. And also, I love the fact that he just loved having a tear up. He could have been like a slippery striker, but I think I'm best when I'm forced to having a tear up. And I knew that I was forced to have it with him. And I think I'm going to be forced with Gadzhi to have a bit of a tear up because he's just going to be throwing wild punches.
We'll get to Gadzhi in a second. What about the Brent Primus fighting? Because that's, I suppose, the polar opposite. Like a guy coming in, throwing up go-go platas and omoplatas and all different sort of thing. Was the preparation for him kind of more jiu-jitsu based? And this is a question I wanted to ask you, was watching back that fight, I think like one of your best skill sets is being free in there, and like I got you couldn't blame anyone for not being free against Brent Primus because he's so dangerous on the ground. Like all it takes is one slip and he has you. How do you approach a fight like that where to be your best you have to be free and throw your shots, but maybe if you are free and get a little bit too free you could play into his game? Is that a tough thing to actually go out and fight like that against a guy as dangerous as Brent Primus?
Yeah, that was definitely a threat that could have happened. I mean, in terms of preparation, I just had to prepare for what he was best at. I've really studied he's the guards that he was good at and what he was good at jiu-jitsu wise, and how he'd expect to get me on the floor. So I feel like that sort of showed in the fight.
Is it tough to get that sort of preparation? Obviously, the kind of the 10 planet mission control go. Is it tough to get that sort of preparation in London, or do you have to travel somewhere together? What way did you prepare? Was there someone specific you used for that?
Yeah, to be honest, it was tough, but lucky. Yeah, there was a few guys in the gym, and I actually got another guy to come down as well that had a really good rubber guard. Also, my coach, Ashley Grimshaw, he understands the rubber guard quite well because he vaguely plays it. So yeah, it was definitely not the easiest to get the training partners. But yeah, I'm thankful for a young kid called Archer that has very good rubber guard, and and for Ashley for getting me through that. So yeah, I feel like we had good training for that.
And what about that? The Brent Primus fight, but the spinning elbow. I must ask you about that as well against Clay Carter, one of the knockouts of the year. Is How good do you feel when a shot like that lands? Because obviously there's a lot of preparation to put in to throw that shot over and over and over to perfect it. To actually see it in a fight landing, how good does that feel?
Yeah, it felt good, I was just trying to run away from him, and it just luckily hit him. So, I mean, trying to run away and then looking back and seeing him on the floor was good.
So the Gadzhi fight, how do you prepare for a guy like this? Because there's been a lot of talk this year that this is the best guy in the PFL, maybe the best guy outside of the UFC. He's been absolutely unbelievable for the last few years. Like, what's the approach? How you go in there, you're going to beat him. How do you beat him?
I'm going to knock him out. I think he's overrated, to be honest with you, and I think his resume is overrated as well. So, like, the fact that he's getting called all of this, I think it's quite uneducated. Like, if you watch the guys that he's beat, and before he went on this sort of knockout spree that he had, what he was doing before that, he's not that great, to be honest with you, and I'm willing to prove that.
What parts of the game do you think you can exploit?
I think I'm a better striker. So I think everyone speaks about his hands. He's got good power. He's a good puncher, but I think I'm a better boxer. So we'll see how the hands play out. And then also, he's only really got his hands. He's got a few kicks, and I've got a lot of limbs that I can use. So we'll see how that plays out. And then he's got a good blast double. I'll give him that. And then on the floor, he doesn't look great. So we'll see what his jiu-jitsu's saying. So I actually think that in a lot of the areas, and not to mention his cardio, like he gasses, and we've seen him. Obviously, he's been on a bit of a win streak, but before that, he's flaked in a lot of fights, and his cardio is not that great.
I spoke to Brent Primus around this time last year, and Gadzhi's knocked a few lads out and landed a few left hooks on a lot of lads throughout his career. And I asked Brent Primus about how do you avoid it, and he kind of he told me that's one thing I will be trying to avoid, and then he got caught with it as well. Is that something you've kind of looked at his game and see that's something I badly need to avoid?
His left hook. He's actually got a better right hand than his left hook. So in that Brent fight, he did the damage with the right before he hit him with that left hook. And equally, in most of his fights, it's been his right hand. There was the Canadian guy that he fought and he hit a good jump left hook. But apart from that, his left hook's sort of serviceable. It's not a bad punch, but I think the danger's in his right hand. And I mean, listen, I can stand quite tall. I'm taller than him, and he's a short, sort of stocky overhander. I've been fighting people with that for years, so it's nothing that I've not seen before. So he can swing these wild punches, and we'll see what's going to happen.
Last two questions, Alfie. I really appreciate the time. Dan Hardy described him as a supreme technician. I assume you disagree with that, do you?
Definitely. He's got, like, how's he a supreme technician? If you watch his boxing ability, it's serviceable at best. He has got power in his hands, and he has been developing a bit boxing skills. But if you was to put him in with just an amateur with 10 amateur bouts, they'd make him look silly. Let's be honest. I've had 100 striking battles. I've boxed some great people within the gym, and I'm willing to show that. I think if we was to have a boxing match, I'd outbox him. But I'm not just going to box him. I'm going to kick him in the face, and I'm going to knee him in the face.
You're after getting me excited for this fight anyway. Alfie, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. August 15th over in North Carolina in the United States. The headlining fight, Alfie Davis versus Gadzhi Rabadanov, right at the very top for the lightweight title over in the PFL in this year's tournament. Alfie, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck on the night, and I can't wait to see it.
All right. Thank you, buddy. You take care, yeah?